Hey there, guys, gals, fans, and pals. Welcome back, welcome back. My name is John Megacycle. This is another episode of one of my absolute favorite strategy games of all time. This is Utopia, the Creation of a Nation. Now, I've told you the history behind this one. This one is actually the great-granddaddy to a bunch of games. It is Utopia, then another one for the Amiga that came out called K240, and another one that came out for PC called Fragile Allegiance. You've seen me play it a couple of seasons worth of Fragile Allegiance. We've done 2 seasons of Utopia, and oh my gosh, I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. New game. We've done Benzar 4, and we've done Gamma Lucra. Each of these, I think I've explained when we really first got started with the very first season of Benzar 4. These all have their own storyline, their own alien cultures, their own difficulties, their own, I guess, everything that comes with it. I don't really have too much of a preference when it comes to these. How about, I don't know, Antares 3? Hello? There we go. Now, you might have heard me say this before, but I usually pick my missions based on the music. If you pick Antares 3 again, you'll get the exact same one. This one is, Canon in D. You get the idea. Rukbat 3. Oh, this one looks fairly cheery. Cheery. Okay. Let's stop immediately. What do we have on the radar if we can see anything? Oh, these things suck to defend, but that's okay. I'm very optimistic. As the new colony leader, we shall pursue forth. We shall find new lush lands to harvest valuable resources. I see nothing on the radar for any sort of resources. We would have found them here. These are ore deposits, fuel deposits. I'm not going to be too tutorial. You guys, hopefully you've seen my other 2 series where we went through and we were much more tutorial-ish. But yeah, I'm not going to bother to be too tutorial. I always, first of all, check and make sure we're not stomping on any precious resources. Dump about a hospital or 2. Get us started on a high birth rate, absolute. The next thing I think we're really short on is living quarters, most likely. Now, in between each of these missions, we'll have different stuffs. Now, I'm sure these numbers aren't, yeah. The administrators take 1 month for all their numbers to kick in, so I don't know how much food we're making. I don't know how much of anything we've got, so little mental math here. I see 200 food. I see power's going to be a problem. Looks like we've got a good amount of storage, living quarters. we got a good amount of people storage, I reckon. That should be able to build. Oh, probably one more then. I wouldn't mind a workshop. Get that stuff a-going. Okay, that's fine. I kind of figured we were pretty darn close. First few months are going to be a little low on activity. We're right now just waiting for the hospitals to come online. When the hospitals come online, we can finally adjust our population rate. Our birth rate is how it's defined. Now, the interesting thing is, if you think about it for a few seconds, you change the birth rate, and it takes effect next month, and babies are being born next month, which is interesting. Now, I'm out of food. We already have food shortages. Why do we have food shortages? Usage 100. Oh, I know why we have food shortages. Check this out. We have 100 builders, no farmers. That, I've never had that happen before. I'll be straight up honest with you. I've never had the first month of no farmers. So we've got 2 hydroponic farms, but no one to do anything with because no people moved from the builders to the farmers because I occupied everyone by building my dumb crap. Fair enough. Now, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the interesting thing is everything's checked on a per month basis. So at the end of the month, when the new month kicks on, that's when production is determined. That's when consumption is determined, and whether you made more or less of whatever, that's when that's all figured out. So, that being said, we're waiting the entire month of February. Even if these structures get built sooner, it doesn't much matter. We're going to have to just shut up and wait, which is fine by me, chickadee. So I'm just gonna wait until February's done. Boom. Okay. Now we'll see a shift from builders to farmers, and you would have noticed exactly like I said, the food problem didn't go away immediately. We had to wait until the month was over. So that's probably the only core stuff I'm going to really be talking about. Low birth rate, as you can see at the bottom of the screen. We're going to change it up to high immediately. Shoring up our numbers and superiority in that regard is going to be very important. Okay, fine. Let's get talking trade. I should have started trading in February right away. Everything sets to 0 and starts growing in price. So for example, gems are worth 6 right now. Later in the game, it's going to have much higher numbers. So anything I can pick up on the cheap. If I could buy fuel, I would buy fuel. I don't have any storage. I'll sell some food, why not? We've got a good surplus now. I can hold 1,000 of anything because I notice I have one store right there. Yeah, each store holds 1,000 of any product. Let's go ahead and change this to high birth rate. Make sure I'm hitting the buttons right. Yeah, cool. Okay, now the only thing that does refresh immediately is the builders. And I'll tell you that right now. So the builders have completed the hospital projects. Now we can move on to something else. It has been a little bit of time. Good population density of 42%. That means we've got plenty of room for housing. How are we on power? Bad. 32 out of 31 is not good. I go for these big muscular power plants. These big beefy guys. These big nuclear jobs or whatever the heck they are. They don't really explain in-game what kind of power it is. It's just power plant, power station. Yeah. Very, very non-descriptive kind of stuff. I wouldn't mind 2 stores, 2 more hydroponics. I'm trying to build pretty evenly here, if you can catch my drift. Yeah, okay. I got the big power plant. I kind of figured I'd try. Settle down. Now, if you're first seeing Utopia out of this is I would call it a real-time strategy, even though, you can see in the upper right, it goes day, month, year. It's ticking every day is like a turn. But it's moving quickly enough. I would call this a real-time strategy. There are so many Super Nintendo games that were played off like this, where this is the only viewable range you can see. Oh, power shortage. Thank goodness I'm building that big arch power plant. Okay, other storage, or other workshop finish up now. What was I saying? Yeah, so you can see everything I see here. This isn't mega high-res level stuff. This is very simplistic level range of what I can see and interact with. And this was very popularized, even though we have such a big map. Everything you see here is where I can build. I can build anywhere around here, which is pretty cool. But still, the thing of the matter is, it's like, how do you don't render this all at the same time. No, it's only what's viewable is what's being actually rendered or drawn. Saves a lot on the processing and the RAM and all that rigmarole. So, anywho, yeah, this viewing mode, it was very common for Super Nintendo games like Populous. Populous was very popular game that used this kind of thing, only being able to see, like, what is this, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, yeah, 8 by 8, so that's 64 blocks. Not a whole lot of room, so that's what we got going for us. Okay, we already got people going to the workshop. We should be getting some tech goods pretty soon. I'm not buying squat. I'm also not selling that at 9. I will buy tech at 9. That usually averages about in the 30s, 20s, right around there, I'd say. Right about there sounds about right. I do want another 2 hydroponics. Let's see, I have the 2 stores building. We'll build 2 hydroponics. And then we'll kind of go from there. I want to take this a little touch and go. I do need labs, I do need science, I do need research. I also need to start spying. Spying is a mechanic into which we can start figuring out what our enemies are up to. Let's just leave 5,000 right there. That's fine by me. I also wouldn't mind security. Okay, so you saw I bought it for 9. I'll sell it for 12. Early game money is very tough to keep. I'll buy gems at 12. Absolutely, I will. Shoot, yes. Cool. Works for me. Store is built. Hydroponics is being built. Store is built. Okay, so right now we have a solar eclipse. I'm really thankful I started building that power plant early. Power plants take a long time to build. Now you also notice, even though we're currently in an eclipse, the power is still being produced at 32. We still have production because it's not the end of the month yet. It hasn't swished us out of it. So the end of the month is what we've got for that. Our new power plant should be online by then. We should be okay. Using a lot of shoulds at the moment. DD, get out to my laboratory. Well, Dexter's lab for you. I do want to see how many free peoples we've got. 25. I could build a lab with that. Probably. Yeah. Probably not 2, though. No. How much is it to make a lab, anyway? Oh, 20. Okay. This game, when I rented it from the store way back when... Oh, that was bloody fast. Hello. Alien city discovered to the east of the colony. We have not yet entered the city, but will do so soon. I wasn't done reading. What's the button for continue? It is difficult to determine anything about them for this distance. From this distance, more details later. Fantastic. Very good. Eddie, soldier. What was I saying? Oh, power plant. When I originally got this game, when I originally started renting it, I was renting it from a Blockbuster. Wow, date me a bit, huh? I was renting it from a Blockbuster when I was a wee nipper, and I was playing the crap out of this, and this did not have an instruction manual, and I played it for days on end. I did not know how to play this game at all. There's no instructions, there's no tutorial. Like, when you first start the game, there's a practice level that gives you a bunch of money and, like, no enemy to fight, which is adorable on paper, but there we go. So even though we had the eclipse and our solars aren't producing, and I'll just verify right now, our power plant is still producing its 50, so that's good. Oh, we're actually storing power. That's awesome. It actually makes me feel pretty good about that. I want security. The trick of this game is when you start building these structures, hydroponic security workshops, labs, all that stuff, for places for people to work, they don't all get hired immediately. Like, it's kind of real life-ish. Well, I guess if you build a brand new factory, you go through, let's say you need 200 workers, you want to hire 200 workers as quickly as you can, get them through some sort of a vetting process, kind of move on, you know what I'm saying? I already built 2 labs, and I built a security. Let's build another power plant, and then I want to start working on research. You use all 5... Oh, no, okay. You used a bunch of money for that, though. Not super thrilled about it. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, this game didn't really have an instruction manual. Like, when you're looking around... Oh, crap, I already traded. There's no thing to tell you what this stuff is. I'm going to keep 100 of everything, thank you. We are not throwing away a single thing. Spy report in. Wow, you guys are diligent. Our spies have entered the city, and we should be able to provide some intelligence on the aliens very soon. At this moment, contact with our spies is very limited. I can't believe you just wasted another $4,000 to tell me that. Okay, like, that's your last $5,000. I need this money to do war and stuff, and you're not helping me with that right now. C'est la vie. Anyway. What was I doing? What was I saying? What was I thinking? Anyway, this game has a bit of a learning curve, but there's no real neat display that says, if you want to build a lab, it requires 20 workers. If you want this, it requires this much power. It's really just build as you go and stuff, and there's not really a good key to figure out how it works. But like I was trying to say before, the real trick of this game to note is that when you build these facilities, they take a while for people to fill the shops. Now, I built my workshop, what, 3 months ago? We built our hospital, what, 5 months ago? Whatever. It's not full. It's not full of production. It's not full of workers. So that's just something to truly keep in mind with this and other kinds of games. You know, it makes sense. You're not going to be able to fully train 10, 20, 30 doctors in 1 month if no one knows how to be a doctor, right? The power plant, that pretty much shoots my budget right through the floor. I want... Ever 2 workshops still? Yeah, we're doing okay. Until those are really maxed out, there's no point in me going too much farther with that. Could start going turrets. I wouldn't mind another flux pod, another radar. They're in the east. I guess we can move east as well. There's a lot of defensible positions around here. Let's just go over here, I guess. Thunk. And a radar. Flux pods are always something you need to pay attention to. Okay, not enough columns. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I'm building a big freaking power plant. Oh, how about now? Sweet. Flux pods allow you to build more structures, so it's important to keep these guys around. These are the flux pods. They also store energy for you. Granted, not much. Don't treat them as batteries, because they're really crappy batteries. Like I'm saying, don't build like 50 of them and be like, yeah, batteries. Yeah, it's not like that. I will buy gems at 18. Gems are expensive. I might even buy ore at 6. Nah, we're good. I could sell tech. I could have sold tech. That wasn't a bad price for tech. But again, the prices are still trying to figure themselves out, so I'm not really gunning ho on stockpiling anything but gems, possibly tech and weapons. Alright, 3734. How much money am I making here? Oh, 7,000. Nice. I can start turret projects with that kind of coin. Workshop. How come I lost a worker and I lost someone in the hospital? Interesting. You have 7 units, big deal. I will buy gems at 21. I'm not going to buy ore or fuel. No, I want to check with my advisors really quick here. Yeah, hi, you. Doing good. We should be getting security in the next few months. I'm surprised I don't have more laborers. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, I do want to stay ahead of the residential curve. So let's get, I don't know, 2 more houses. I would like another life support, actually. Keep my vital structures kind of close-ish. Right there is good for me. And let's get another housing. And then I really want to start working on research. Research is pretty paramount. We're looking pretty good here. Gonna have another power plant online. That means we're gonna be pretty immune from solar issues for a while. Let's take a gander. Nope, I didn't want to see that. I did want to see this. New radars online. Any resources at all? I see nothing. Okay. Now, later on you'll research something called the ore scanner and the fuel scanner. And that scans the entire planet, telling you what resources are available for mining, production, processing, plundering, salvage, sale, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. I thought if you built a radar close enough, you would see it also. Like, I thought that was a thing. Not sure. I don't quite recall. All I remember is this game is old, and it is fun as nuts. Fun as nuts. Okay. Let's get our military and civilian grant started. I do want... there we go. Okay. So 2 in our lab, 2 in security. That's looking pretty good. Okay. Tech prices are looking good. Oh, food prices looking sweet. Hey, $3,000? That's a good chunk of change right there, my friend. I will buy gems at 26. Now, I'm buying... I'm continuously buying more and more and more stuff. But like I said, I know gems go all the way up to 99. Tech and weapons get up there pretty well. I'm not going to buy them anymore. We're nearing the end of year 1, 2090. Ah, my goodness. Yeah, the prices are starting to regulate. It takes about a year for the softer products, food or fuel, and it takes 2 years to 3 years or something for gems to fully normalize, and maybe a year and a half for tech weapons, and I think that's it. I think that's all the products? I can't see because I've already traded this month. So I'm taking my sweet time. End of the month. Come on, 7,000 in tax like you've been doing me. A little less, but I'm happy with that. Yes, security, please. Thank you. Jump this up. I want those to be good for a few months. I don't mind stocking that up a bit. Food sales. Thank you so much. See, gems are 31 now. We're going to hang on to that, though. I'm not going to buy tech. I would buy weapons at 11. If there was any I could purchase, I would. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's have a chat with our advisors. Let's make sure we're right on point. I'm building another air facility. We have plenty of food. We have plenty of power even if solar goes offline, because we're producing 32 via solar and 100 via question mark? Nuclear? Fusion? I have no idea. I'm going to want more housing soon. We don't have a lot of housing, so even though it says population density of 61, you might be like, oh, we got 39%. That's no problem. But the thing is, I only have like 4 or 5 housing units, 6 housing units. So that might mean, 40% might mean 80 people. I'm out of that in 3 months or whatever. You gotta really think it through. And make sure that not one thing gets way too far up or way too far down, so you can recover gracefully if need be. Now that takes care of my spy report. Hello. This is what we can tell you about the aliens. Maybe I should like 1920s stockbroker talk. This is what we can tell you about the aliens. The Pascalians are a strange race. They appear to be exactly like the fairies of ancient European mythology. That's it? I changed my voice for that? That was nothing. That was nothing. This is what we can tell you about the aliens. The aliens are very similar to the ancient fairies of European mythology. That's just in. This is what we can tell you about the aliens. I don't know. Maybe I'll try different voices. I like doing the voices, the voice things. You guys know me. I'm pretty darn silly. Labs are looking good. Yes, your scientists have made an advance in pollution control. I can't even read it that fast. I read it like not a 3rd grade level. I read pretty darn quick, but I couldn't even read and talk it. Either way, advances in pollution, that's exactly what I want to hear. That increases our quality of life. Lots of little things will improve our quality of life, and it's important that we try to work on that stuff early. If I had a disposable income, I'd absolutely be working on something a little more fun like the sporting arena down here. Yeah, the sports complex, because 84 days is a substantial amount of time for that to be working. Now, there's really nothing else I can do from an infrastructure perspective, considering, I'm sure if we take a gander here. Yeah, so we went from 61 to 64, but we just got to keep an eye on it. That's why I built more housing. Everything looks good there. Once we get the ball rolling, I'll be checking this stuff a lot less, but it's good that we check into our advisors once in a while. Let's take a gander over here. Yeah, I don't need new facilities if the facilities I have aren't even maxed out. Oh yeah, I already traded this month. Womp womp. We could start talking about a turret project. Right now, I think I just kind of want to keep my money where it's at, if I'm honest. Maybe build another node up here. I don't know. I like to span out a bit with my flux pods and what. Flux pods. Yep. I was just going to bring that up. Good point, game. Good point. You have to build flux pods within 12 squares of each other. To be absolutely honest, I don't know what'll happen if you lose your last flux pod. You only start with the one. I don't know what happens. I guess I could blow them up and see what happens. I don't really want that to happen, though. Maybe I'll do that off camera. I've never really thought about that. I almost instinctively, I don't know, build a flux pod pretty quick, I guess. Even within the first 3 years, that's fairly quick. We're not fighting the Gamma Lucras, so I don't anticipate us being attacked anytime soon. That being said, I don't mind chucking maybe 6 or 7 turrets around the base, just to make sure we have something. And there's nothing worth selling. I'll buy weapons for 7. That seems fair. When I used to play this game, like I said, when I was a wee nipper, what I did is I had a scratch pad right next to me when I played this game solo. I used to play it a lot with my friend Mike. Cheers out to you, Mike. Getting married in a month. Congratulations, man. Yeah. So anyway, shout out to Mike. What I used to do is I used to have a scrap piece of paper, a little 3-ring binder, not 3-ring binder, a little college pad notebook or whatever. And I would scribble in what I would pay for stuff, like prices, because I couldn't memorize it. And I didn't know what the ranges were, and I didn't know any of that stuff. So it was really cool to just kind of have that, like, bought 8 weapons at 12. And then I would know that if I was going to sell it back, it'd have to at least be 12. Or it was a waste of time and money. But anyway, it's the fun things, learning on how a market system works, supply and demand, how all these things relate to each other. It's really, really cool to learn that stuff at the young age I did. It was fun. It's a lot of fun. I learned a lot from these older games. Absolutely. Another turret there. I'm not going turret project yet. I'm just getting a few sprinkled about. You guys know me, turret project is when I just start walling off huge swaths of my base with heavy plasma. Okay, I'm not going to sell it for 5. And I'm not going to sell tech for 11. That's to you. Yeah, that's really when stuff gets really cranked into overdrive, is when I start cutting out chunks of the map and just say, this is my new residential district. This is the business and finance district. This is our power district, and where just like, you know, have a little fun with it. I don't need this landing pad. I never use landing pads this early in the game. And also, this is a pretty stupid spot to build it, considering I blocked it off with hospitals and whatever. But it's another good spot for a power plant and such. Yeah, even build. Even build is the key to this game. I can remember so many times growing up when I was playing this. I would build like 10 workshops or 20 or 30 workshops, or as many workshops as I could, thinking, yeah, my industry is going to be great next month, and then like nothing. I could never figure out why, ever. And it's like, dude, think about it logically. The colony is new. The people are fresh. No one knows how to be a workshop person, or a security person, or a research person. No one knows that stuff. They've got to learn and train each other. That's why. That's why this takes a while. So learning to build evenly, really... Yeah, I'm not selling weapons for 3. Are you high? I would buy fuel for 1. Dang it. I'm buying fuel storage. Forget it. I usually wait until compression tech. But guess what? Fuel storage, here we go. What was I saying? There's a lot of things that really make sense when you just sit down and think about how it works. You know, and the fun thing is, these games were all puzzle games to me. Because like I said, whenever I rented them, no instruction manual. No one kept track of that crap. No one kept track of that crap. I'm sure there's one kid that just stole all the freaking instruction manuals. So like half of these games are almost like learning another language. Like, what mechanics make sense? How does any of this crap work? How do you make money? Why are my people starving? None of this makes any sense. Alright, I was already in here. I'm used to it yelling at me saying, you've already traded this month, but I wanted to see the price of, you've already traded this month. I wanted to just see if the economy was, you've already traded this month. You get the idea. Just someone yelling at me constantly that I've already traded this month. Go out and play in the sunshine. You've already traded this month. I don't wanna. So the interesting thing is when you get your research dialed in as quickly as we did, you kind of get the pollution tech almost... Oh, did I already build one? Ah, crapses. That's fine. I planned it all along. I start to get a little too dictationally into like, I remember back in my day, old. Like, I remember just like reminiscing so much, I kind of forget what the crap I'm even doing. Alright, no demands on the docket immediately. Good, we're getting some good workshop, which means we're actually producing a fair amount of tech, but first, sell all that food. Yes, that is enough for nothing. There, sell gems at 56, now we're talking a price. Buy weapons at 1, you bet your butt. We can start cranking out tanks right now. I don't know if tanks just require weapons, or they require weapons and ore. You know what? I've never rushed the enemy. I wonder if that's a thing. Hold on. I'm curious if that's a thing. Tank yard is not that expensive. Okay, cool. Let's go over here. Just, I don't want it undefended, but I want it a bit away from my base. There we go. And I already know the location of the enemy, so that's not a problem anymore. I know where they at. I'm going to save it for another power station next month. Power stations are my bread and butter. I don't know how the eclipse logic works, but there was a planet, like an eclipse was happening like 4 times a year, And that was after I invoked my solar green energy initiative. I'm like, I want to make sure that we are as green as possible because pollution is bad. Like, I did not, deep thoughts were not part of my, 12-year-old brain. But, like, pollution makes people sneeze a bunch, and I don't like that. People should breathe regular, like, healthy breathing. So I built a bunch of solars, and there's eclipses, like, 3-4 times a year, and it's like, you've gotta be joking. The game is punishing me for trying to be proper about the environment. Sad. I could sell weapons for 2, considering I bought them for 1. Tech for 15, I'm alright. Gosh, fuel, treat me right. Go back to 1 again, would ya? I'm gonna keep my weapons. We're gonna see how far we can go with this. I know I can't rush the enemy, but it would be neat to have some tanks. What are we in, year 2? We've spent a year and a half, so we're within year 2 right now. That would be really fascinating, though. I have no idea what I'd do. If I get like 6 or 7 tanks and just rush and just see what happens. It would be really funny if I got the message, I'm just fleeing the destroyed remains of the capital city of the aliens. There's smoke and ashes everywhere, and we don't know what to make of it. You've won in the 2nd year of the game. Good job. Our spies have been studying the military research of the alien race and have the following to report. Their harvester saucers have hidden weapons. We left one of our vehicles in sight, and the saucer rushed across and proceeded to destroy it using powerful flamethrowers. Flamethrowers. That's interesting. So, based on my dumb human knowledge, apparently there is oxygen of some sort. Or some other consumable. Consumable for air, for combustion of some sort. Anyway, I'm not going to worry too much. We're not going to pick apart the alien air supply to figure it out. I don't know enough about chemistry and stuff to make anything make sense. But I'm going to pause right here. Thank you all for joining me. Let's just go ahead and tap this out real quick here. Get our trading done. And then we're going to call this the first episode of our new Utopia series. I see nothing of value. Nothing of value. Gems at 52 is pretty cool, but I'm going to wait. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. My name is John Megacycle. Episode 1 of Utopia, the creation of a new nation. Birth of a new nation? Creation of a new nation, I was right. Is in the books. Thank you all, and I'll catch you next time.